Hey everyone. So let me turn down the music. Or the music might already be down, but let me try to turn on with the right mouse. Do. And now the big question is, can you hear me? Because I have so many audio problems every time. Do you actually hear me through this mic? Do you hear the AC? Is it bad? All that jazz, please let me know. And hopefully you got to see the TM null timer or whatever happens at the end of the countdown, because I didn't switch quick enough. I was watching chat and not watching here. That's my own fault. Hey Torvin. Um, oh, and it looks like Death Pixie. All right, don't know you, but congrats on having that many TikTok followers. That's very cool. Yeah. So I did already build the bus, and good, people can already hear me. So let me know how it sounds. If you can hear me, last time it sounded like I was really distant because it was coming through like a mic over there or something. Okay, a little bit of AC. Thank you. I hope it's not the end of the world because it got really warm in here. I had the window open. It's like a beautiful, I don't even know how many degrees, but once I turned on that light and that light, super, super high. Here's the, nope, of course that camera's not working. Why would that be working? That would be too easy. I was going to show you the cameras, but this camera apparently doesn't want to work. I'm going to try to deactivate and activate in case that. We'll turn it on. But it totally figures. Nope. Alright, you can't see the lights. Tough cookies. Alright, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't have technical problems. But speaking of show, hi! Hi! Welcome! Welcome to Builder's Block here on the Transverse Network. I am Jess, you are awesome, and we are going to get into, hopefully, some fun building times. We'll get into building times, I just hope that they're also fun for you. But that's obviously hard to tell. So what do we want to do? What do we want to say? I want to talk about what I'm going to be building tonight. I did already build a school bus. I should have replaced that with another picture, but I kind of didn't want to give it away because things got a little carried away since we last saw each other a month ago. But before I go into what I'm going to build tonight and what we'll do together tonight, let's chat a little bit about what this all is. So I recognize a lot of the names in the chat, and thank you so much. It's always so awesome to have everyone that I've come to become familiar with, or I already know, back in the chat. It always makes it so much more fun and more lively, and gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling, so I appreciate it. But if you're new in the chat, if you haven't seen this before, here's the deal. What you're watching right now is called the Transverse Network. It's a bunch of different shows from a bunch of different awesome people on a lot of different topics. And one common theme to a number of them is at least a lot of the people who are involved happen to be trans. And we get to share bits of our own experience, but also do all kinds of other cool and fun things. And so there's talk shows, there's shows about the news, things looking into things that happen behind closed doors in the evening, and then shows like this, which are a little bit more on the, at least moderately more innocent side, which is focused on building and creating things. Builder's Block is a show where there's a couple different people that rotate in and out, taking turns showing off some of their creative passions, the things we like to create and build. We've had some changes. We had Rosa, who did these awesome little tiny mechs. She stubbornly decided to focus on schoolwork instead of giving up her time down in Australia to give up her mornings to come do this show. So for at least a while, she will not be joining us, but we still have Emily building Star Wars droids. You still have me doing Lego stuff, and there's always possibility of new regular or guest stars who might appear and do some building too, which has happened a couple times in the past. But until then, you have me tonight doing Lego stuff, which is my passion, definitely. What am I sending when she gives me money for it? I don't send people sets. Sorry, I just in the chat I just saw Logic Buster ask what I'm sending Emily a Lego Star Wars set. Lego Star Wars sets, those things can really shoot up. I have a friend who I forget how long ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, sold a Lego Star Wars set from the 90s for $10,000. Those things, if you find the right set and you keep it and appreciate it for a long enough time and you find the right buyer, you can make some boku bucks. I think Lego in the last few years has appreciated more than gold for certain sets, which is why I have a whole storage unit in Pennsylvania just full of sets. Future down payment, or if it doesn't pan off, if they don't pan out as an investment, then I have more Lego. So it's a win-win. You can't go wrong there. So maybe I might do something custom Lego, but I don't know that it would be Star Wars, which is more Emily's passion. I want Emily, that's it. I want Emily to create a Lego Star Wars set. That's what I want to see. I want to give her one. I want to see her make one. Make her own custom R2D2, because there are official R2D2s and official astromech droids. She'd do a custom one. That I would pay to see. Level fire. I'm also gonna be sipping occasionally. I'm doing wine tonight because I'm feeling a little saucy. I was gonna do prosecco. That was gonna be what I was going to leap into. Was gonna do some prosecco, which is one of my favorite drinks. A nice like starter thing. It feels lighter. The challenge of doing a lighter drink on my own, because I don't usually drink on my own. I drink basically when I'm on camera or when I'm with friends. Otherwise, during the week, I don't really drink at all. And the problem with prosecco is that because it's a light, bubbly, fun drink, I suddenly find myself drinking the whole darn bottle all by myself. I don't want to do that, so we're going with a red wine from Portugal. Do not know what that is, but there you go. This is what I'm drinking. I don't know why I turn these into like alcohol commercials. I'm obviously not getting any kickbacks from these guys, but if you're curious, because I guess maybe I'm curious when I see people drink something on stream, what they're drinking. But of course, folks, you do not have to drink to have fun, and it's awesome for those of you that don't drink. Hats off to you. For whatever reason, just have fun. Period. No matter how you're going about it. No matter how you are going about it. I always slur my words. Okie dokie. That was a long stream of consciousness babble. You can see my hair blowing in the wind, which is why I keep touching this, because I keep seeing it blow around a little bit. But yeah, so I said I'm going to build, and I will build. That's what we're doing tonight. Hey, Jessica. Star is in the chat. Jessica, I want to talk about you, but I don't want to talk about you if you don't want me to talk about you. So let me know in the text if I can talk about you. I think you know what I'm talking about. And then I will. But otherwise, I will not. But I forgot to text you before this. Let me know if I can extol your adventures. Sure. Oh, wow. Okay. The delay on this is so much better than last time. Last time was a horrible delay. I rewired the internet into this room. I turned off every other device in my apartment. Hopefully it will be faster tonight. And it already seems like less delay in the chat from when I see it. So that's a plus sign. So Jessica Lee, which I know it's Jessica Lee, but every time I see it all together, I think Jessica Lee. But Jessica, one of my best friends, you always see me and Gotham City Girl, who else is in the chat, Ashley, are always hanging out together. Today is a huge day for her. Today, she came out at work. So, trumpet sounding, alarms, sirens, bells, all that jazz. She took a huge step today. Did a presentation to her team, which was a very cool presentation, walking through all the basics of what it means to be trans, sharing it with everybody there, and then sent out a note to the other 100-some people in her department. And so, yeah, huge leap. A very, very cool thing. Very excited for you. This particular sip is for you, as will what we drank last week and what we'll drink this weekend. So. Huge steps, huge steps. Also some cool stuff with other people in her life. I won't go into all those details, but she's making some amazing strides, which is so wonderful to see her get to be herself and get to share that with the world. And I know you've gotten some great responses so far. I hope those continue to roll in as they should, because you are an awesome person, and this is happy, happy news. And how cool is it we're getting to a point where, at least for some of us, in some parts of the world, it really is genuinely happy news, and not just for us, for other people, but for other people that hear it. So super proud of you. Good job. Okay. Got a little side stream there. I wonder, are you making your stream PC out of like a, ooh, that is ambitious. I don't even know what the temperature impact of that would be on the Lego or on the devices. I have to think about that. That's intriguing. That's intriguing. You throw up lots of cool ideas, Logic Buster, for what I mean to build. And I don't mean to not build them. You just have a high volume. I appreciate it. Keep them coming. I will consider them, but I cannot promise or commit both the reality of what I can build, what I have time for, what I have space for, and frankly, if Legos can handle a streaming PC, which is a great question. At the moment, I don't have streaming PCs or other PCs. I have my work computer and my personal computer. I do have multiple, but I don't use them like for different purposes. They're just in different places. I want to show you things. I had this great camera overhead that was wireless and I could show you the whole room, and I could like move around on it. Some of y'all might remember that. Apparently, when I updated OBS, it stopped working. So I guess whatever beta wireless software they had setting up didn't work. I tried to find some other way to connect it, but it was a little bit too last minute for me to crack. So sadly, I don't have as many cameras going, but heck, that might be why my stream is performing better. I don't have the camera that shows you the angle across the room tonight, and my camera, while it's on above my other computer, apparently I need to like unplug it or restart OBS or something, and I'm not going to do that. So that's not working over there. But more importantly, we have this camera, and we got this camera, and we have a mobile camera, but I'm not going to do that yet because that's going to spoil things. We're going to start here. We're going to start talking about what we did last week because it's very much related. I did not run OBS as admin, but honestly, we can. Important thing is working right now. That this is working, I can talk to you here, and we can continue to troubleshoot in the future. That's my own bad for updating today and not thinking about what the consequences might be for other things connected to it. Last week, right here on this very show, we all built this sucker. So this school bus right here. So this school bus was constructed on stream. I was very happy with it and how it came out. It's one of those kind of special building situations where it's odd numbers width. It's 7 studs wide, which is rare to non-existent in official LEGO sets. It still has parts that are 6, so there's different kind of combinations to make that possible. But that's the kids sit side by side in the back of the bus as it all falls apart. All those seats. There's an aisle down the middle, so the kids can actually sit by side and their arms won't hit each other. There is wheelchair accessible elevator that goes in the back that can lift up into the car, into the body of the bus. Got the driver there, and then I can of course put the window back on, the windshield back on, and then the roof back on. Kind of fell apart when I ripped it off there. And we have an intact school bus. Once I get, there we go, the roof on. So this was fun. This was cool to build. Since we built it on stream, I couldn't find this door last stream, but I did find a door that had little bars in it, which I felt like went a little bit more with the bus. So that was kind of cool. Of course, I got the stop sign, so people know to let the kiddies cross the street when they stop and get on or off the bus. So, boom, that happened. That was cool. Heidi ho, Midvani. Awesome to have you here. Cool. So this was last stream. Build the school bus. And then if you remember at the end of the stream, I said I wanted to build another modular building. For a while we've been building the trans train, which has really evolved into more of the queer train. There's just a trans engine, but I want to build other cars, and that's been a lot of fun. And that's back here. Have the engine and the wagon car for the bears, and the 2 lesbian Subaru car carriers, and the tanker gender fluid. We're going to add more cars to the train. It will expand, it will continue, but I didn't want I wanted to shake it up more. I think I was self-conscious after my town hall, my city hall stream went for like 6-7 episodes in a row. I'm like, that was too much on one topic. I want to shake this up more, so if something's going to take a while, then I will change up the project. So I'll switch it back and forth. And obviously doing something that's queer related is cool, especially for me as a queer person. I don't want all of it to just be that. I want to also do anything I'm passionate about, anything I have fun building. When it's translated or queer related, that's like a nice bonus, but that's not going to be all the time. And that's the case here. So I built the school bus because I wanted to build a school bus. And now I wanted to build a school. And so that was where it left off last time. I drew some very rough sketches, which you might remember, and you cannot see at all with this screen, this degree of brightness. Holy cow. Wow. I forget how I solved this last time. I think I zoomed in the camera. Maybe that was it. Let's see if I still had that set up. I had a zoomed in view. Oh, little, not really better. Ooh, all right. It suddenly popped into view there. So there was a very, very rough, quick pencil elevation drawing of the school. Partly just to map out, because I was counting sort of studs across here, how many windows, how many pieces, what was the general shape of the building, and what kind of pieces do I need to maybe assemble to bring it to pass. I also started to work on a floor plan. Again, very, very rough, but again, with the spirit of, and it's even harder to see, but how many studs, plates, all this stuff would space take up, maybe where I could start to assemble rooms, where a stairwell might go, all that kind of stuff. So very rough start to things that I began on the last stream, where I started to put it all together. And I am going to throw that under the table there. So that's where it started. It's no particular school. It's probably more elementary than anything, just looking at the things. But, this is not going to be a big school. Just be... Like, I've talked about this before, but when I build my modular buildings, obviously building at minifig scale, building at the scale of a Lego minifigure, it's never going to be quite right? School bus can hold like two kids per seat on each side. That bus is going to be like this big. Like, it's going to be massive to actually be at the scale of a Lego minifigure. So it's never going to be perfect. But I still want to try to get something that feels appropriate to their size and somewhat realistic to my own desires, my own satisfaction of whether or not I've pulled off a building successfully. Sorry, the hair blowing around is really messing me up. I keep noticing things and I keep adjusting, which I need to stop doing, but whatever. That's a life thing, not necessarily a stream thing. So anyway, with the Lego buildings then, when I build them, I want them to be at a scale that I feel like is rational, it's reasonable, that it's part of why I love the modular Lego building style, is that there is an actual fourth wall around the building. Like, it's not just three sides and an open back, and there's actual stairwells and elevators and all those kinds of things. So I like my buildings to have those degrees of logic. I like them to have bathrooms. I like them to have at least a stairwell, or if there's an elevator, also a stairwell. Like, all these different little things that just to me make the building feel more real, and then therefore me more satisfied with the build when I do it. So by that same token, when I built like what has been called my hospital, and I can show you my hospital. Here's my personal site here, which all of you can go to too, justjess42.com, which has access to things I built in the past and other things. Is it just me or is it super bright? I don't know if that's... Okay, it just got dimmer. Whatever. Also links off to my Flickr account, which has all the creations, and so I'm going to do that now, so I can show you the med center I'm referring to. I walked through it on a past build, or a past show, but I just wanted to point out here, when I built it, for all of that, I might have called it a hospital, or other people call it a hospital. In my mind, this building is an outpatient center, because it's just not big enough to be a hospital. An actual Lego hospital built to minifig scale would be the size of like this room. A 500 bed hospital or something. That's a big building, even if it's a small hospital. And so when I build a Lego building, again, I want it to be that sense of reality to it. I want it to have a sense of appropriateness. Even if it's not ever perfect, it still feels like it's in the right zone of being real for a Lego minifigure. And so that's the deal, certainly with this building when I built it. Like, there shouldn't be a helipad on it. I still do that in there because most Lego sets have helicopters on them, the police stations and the hospitals and the fire stations. But this building is too small for a helipad. You don't need that. And so the same goes true for the school. So I'm babbling on about this, but I swear it has a point. For the school, by that same token, a school is not a small building. Right? Especially a middle school or a high school or a secondary school, whatever it is, wherever you are, you're talking about a gym, a theater, a cafeteria, all these different rooms, the nurse's room, guidance counselors, admin offices, principal's office, vice principal's office, janitor's closets. It goes on and on and on. And again, I would love to build that kind of thing, but that is like way beyond my space abilities, let alone monetary and piece availability issues. So I'm sorry. I don't want to sound scolding. It's a great question, Midvani, but I guess I'm explaining some of my thinking process when I build this. So that's why when I say what kind of school is it, and I think it might be an elementary school, is because frankly those are the smallest schools I personally had experience with. Like my elementary school growing up in Pittsburgh was still bigger than what I'm building, but it was still like I'm maybe within the zone of that, in the reach of that building. So that's what I had in mind when I think about in this Lego town. What's this little school gonna be? It's probably a school for the younger kiddos because it's not super huge, and that's even at 4 base plates, 4 10 by 10, 10 inch by 10 inch Lego base plates in size. So that's the scale I had in mind. About 2 weeks ago, as I was starting to think, oh, it's almost time to stream again. I have these drawings. Maybe I should start pull together some pieces for that school. I sat back and I did that. I started to go through and actually locate some brick and start to say, all right, what might I need to assemble? Because I've been trying to do better at pre-planning and setting aside parts in advance. And I got a bit carried away. There we go. That plan to start to set aside pieces for my school turned into me basically building a school already. So I definitely got a bit carried away here. But you can see my Diet Coke. But yeah, here's where it is so far. Here is the school to date, if you can see this well enough. And I'm going to get up. You might not hear me for a sec, but I'm going to walk around, and then we'll start taking off the floors, and then we'll start working on the interior. But yeah, I got a lot farther. I didn't finish it yet. There's still a lot to do, and I had to order a couple $100 worth of pieces, which are still on the way to finish it, but I got some progress here. All right, I'm going to take a sip and then walk around here. So let's take a look at the school so far. All right. So, there is the school so far. You did ask a question. I did not see your question, but I was answering Midvani's question, but it's a good question, and I have no idea when I'm going to build a transverse, but good question. It's a Catholic elementary school. You have Lego nuns. Ooh. That one's good. That's a good one, Midvani. So there's the deal. What was going to be like, all right, let's start building a school, turned I actually just started building the school. But in some ways that might be good, because honestly it took, for all that, I built almost all that you saw there, in maybe, probably spread out across like 5 days altogether. It was not always fast. It definitely went in fits and starts. There's a lot of rummaging around for pieces, which is not super fun to watch. So it was not super stream worthy. And even when I thought, all right, I'll build something and take it apart and rebuild it on stream, it definitely got way too involved, way too complicated, and way too intense to pull it back and rebuild again. So I decided instead I would continue building on stream, especially when the more parts come. Now that I have a deeper sense of how it all goes together, I can finish the back that you saw was empty of red pieces because I ran out of the dark red little brick pieces. And then we can do the interiors too, which is what I want to start with today on stream. Yeah, so there's where I am so far. There is the fun of the school. I'm also going to briefly pause and turn off the AC just because I'm cooler now. I might have to turn it back on, but hopefully it's cooled off enough that I can take away the hum in the background for you, and we can all hear each other better. Also, my music is playing, but I don't see it at all. Like I'm looking at the little wave bar, and it's just like. Do you hear any music on your end, or is it? Am I accurate that it's like basically disappeared? Oh, here I'm turning it up. Maybe it's a little bit more now. Do you hear music now? And how does that go with my voice, or is it too much with my voice? Let me know if the balance is okay. And while you think about that, I will start to bring the school over here so we can dive into it. I can actually take it apart. Maybe that's it. I might lift it off and bring it over and go from the top down because that'll probably be easier, and then we'll actually build in the interior. Yeah, the music was like super faint. I tried to turn up the volume. I just didn't notice it was that low until with the AC on. Okay. I increased it a bit, so hopefully it's a decent balance. And right, I'm gonna bring over the building and we'll start to go through it and see what I've done so far. Alright. It's a little interesting play around the line. Eventually, I'm going to build a roof. It's obviously going to be way more than this. It's going to be a bunch of pieces. I want to do angles on the roof. Angles are tough, though. They definitely get a little complex. I thought about dormers. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, but I might try. But I'm also thinking I'm going to put these little cheese wedge pieces on here and make it something similar to what I did for my church years ago. So I made a Lego church ages ago. Oh, I'm clicking on my OBS, not on my monitor. Here's my mouse. Here's my mouse. But I did a cheese wedge roof for the sorry, I did a cheese wedge roof for the courthouse. Forgot about this. So lots of different ones, but you can see that roof style, right? So all those little things, those pieces there, those dark green pieces there are called, in Lego, at least in fan parlance, cheese wedges. And those are these super itty bitty pieces. You can make it out right there. These little tiny things which go on here one at a time. It's not a fun process to assemble it, but it looks awesome when it's there. So I'm gonna order 18 bajillion dark green pieces. I thought a dark green roof with the red brick would look nice. And that's the plan for the roof. But obviously that will kind of come last. So that maybe be later on in the stream process. Future episode. So here's one of these rooftop rooms. And this one, I don't quite, it's a good question. What rooms will be what? I almost picture this one as like a theater room. Obviously, it's going to have these angled roof sides to it. So more active area is going to be in the middle. So maybe also an art room. Maybe an art room, like there's lower cabinets on the sides and then people are active in the middle. This is going to be part of the guidance counselor. No, this part of the school nurse in this room. The way the building just lifts apart, half her office is on one segment, the other half is on another one. I also have little numbers on there, so you can maybe see the number 7 upside down here. So this is classroom 7. So I also put numbers on them. So there should be 8 classrooms altogether when the building's done. And this is one portion of the top of the school. So obviously one of the things they're all in different levels of put togetherness depending on how many pieces I had immediately available. So this one's decent. Obviously I didn't do any of the interiors, but I got a decent distance on the exterior. So part 1. Where will the theory muggler bondage room? I have to admit, I got bondage room. I am not familiar with the Sorry that reference, even if I should be mid-Bonnie. So that is a great question. Alright, the other portion of the top floor, the third floor that's built so far, is a couple of loose things on here. Here's the sign for classroom number 8, which has yet to be applied because that's going to actually be off in this other part of the 3rd floor that has not been built yet because the floor below it wasn't done enough yet to do it. This is the top of the elevator shaft that leads this floor, so there's only one button to go down. This is the other half of the nurse's office, the entrance into it, where the stairwell comes up from the 2nd floor. And then the chair sliding back and forth is the principal's chair. So the principal gets to sit right in front of the top of the big window up here. So that's the principal's office. I don't know yet if this will be a portion of the principal's office or if I'll actually close off this wall and put a door here and make it a separate room of some kind. So that's up for debate. But yeah, so this is the other part of the 3rd floor. So again, it's kind of rough. I don't know if this portion, if it will even stay angled or if it'll be squared off or if I'll put more things in between. So this is very much a work in progress. I've said before, when I build things, I build entirely on the fly and I see what I like along the way. And so sometimes I do things that I don't like or I don't like as much, and so I break them apart and rebuild them. And so that's a strong possibility with the big window portion here, is that I might change up its shape and stuff. And you do not have to apologize to me. It's just wonderful to have you here. So I'm just gonna note here, I use stickers from an official Lego set. I consider stickers from an official set as like canon. That's okay to use in a Lego set. And so I do have a school sticker that's on the 1st floor. And so because I use that sticker is blue and yellow. And so I found other blue and yellow elements as like the school colors to work in here and there. And then I realized, oh yeah, Ukrainian flag. So it doubles in value to be both a theme for the school, but also an inadvertent but nonetheless heartfelt homage to all of our friends who are suffering in Ukraine. It's not like that's a big effort I'm doing or anything, but just a nice coincidence I noticed, so I wanted to point that out. All right, continuing down to floor 2, and then we're going to actually start building on floor 1. So that's why I'm taking all these to show you, and then to get down to the part where we'll actually do some building. We might do something on the 2nd floor too. I'm not sure. All right. At the back of the building, and where you can really see that I started to run out of the dark red brick pieces, right? So you can see the interior tan of the schoolroom, but the exterior is undone. I don't usually do different colors for the interior and exterior, but I thought the design looked quite nice. It lent itself well. I mean, a brick wall in a school would be cool too, I'm sure. But I feel like it looks nice. It felt more school-like for me to see these neutral walls everywhere, and it lets the windows be recessed both on the outside and the inside, which will be more. Sorry, I can't forget where my hands are. Where the camera is, it's sort of like you can see this is indented by half a stud, the window, and so it lets a little bit more relief happen, which will be more apparent on the other half of the floor where I actually have red brick out here. But yeah, so interior here we have a chalkboard. You know, there's the blackboard, which is actually dark green, and a little rail for your erasers and stuff. And I built it so it can apply to either side of the classroom. So it's sort of double duty. There's a chalkboard in both classrooms, but it's essentially flush with the wall. So I thought that was a kind of a nice little trick. You can see on the numbers here, this is classrooms 5 and 6. And then I think this will be a janitor's closet. So I'll have mops and stuff there for the janitor. So he'll have a plain brick wall, which is why the tan doesn't exterior over here. This window here is not indented or sticking out. That's because this part of the building is potentially going to be flush against another building next to it. It's also why I have gray here, both because I was running out of dark red, but also because it's probably going to be covered up by the building next door. So it's not as essential to spend the more expensive and more rare dark red there versus a field of gray. And then on the inside, it actually kind of doubles as like an interesting background for this framing. And you'll see how that plays out on another classroom. But yeah, so that's back of the 2nd floor. I'm gonna run out of room for this really quickly. Hey, Peach Colored Sky, thank you for jumping into the chat for the first time. It is wonderful to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Well, and the chalkboard is just the start of it, Nicole. We are going to do more things together to bring those classrooms to life and give them, hopefully, some unique flair across them. I debated doing unique colors for each classroom. The problem was some of the hallways would then, like, you'd have two colors, tan for the hallway and half of the inside, and then another color. Like, it felt a little bit weird, so I just decided to do tan universal, make it a little bit easier. All right, we'll do this. The other wing, the wing next to the part that's over top of the main floor. Something stuck on the bottom. Oh, all right, that's random. But this floor has a few more details on it. So starting with the exterior here, this is where you can see like there's a little windowsill that sticks out. Then this window stick is inset, and then it comes back out again. So you get this little sense of relief. You can see it from the side there as well. I feel like that bit of texture, having those things stepped in and out, is probably what makes the buildings feel a little bit more real to me. I like when I do that. So that's why that's happening here. And that's, again, why it's not happening on the side here is because this building, again, needs to potentially sit flush against another building, so I can't stick it out. So I just did a flat window on the side here. But then on the back of the building, it can be indented and outdented again. This is where I started running out of dark red brick on the second floor, so I did not finish this. But once again, you can see some of these details. There's the chalkboard that goes into one classroom, classroom 4. And then over here in classroom 3, it comes through again. You can see it there. And on the far wall is where I have that same gray, that arch and that same show through the gray. But then I put these like little cabinets along the bottom, so I thought that could kind of be almost sort of like a little display case, or you'd have a skeleton there for science class or something. But like that would be maybe a place where I'd have some decoration and things. Oh, great question. I'm sorry, Peach Colors Guy, just seeing this. Yes, this is all free build. I just do custom buildings in general. I very rarely do official sets, and it's only for when it's like a giant set that I want for myself. Like I'll probably build the Titanic in some future date when I have space to put it somewhere, just because that's such a cool set. But otherwise, I figure if I want something big and cool and permanently assembled and on display, I want it to be something I've made. Now that I've reached this point. So generally speaking, all my things are custom builds, and I built the school bus on stream last week, and so this is now the school to accompany it. So at the end of the hall here is going to be an any gender bathroom, and then we have the actual hallway. It'll look out over the playground, and then I thought this was kind of neat to do. I have school lockers. Here, let me turn this. Oh, geez. It's not super firm since I ran out of pieces, and so much is sort of loosely hanging together there. Because this is a bathroom, that's also why the bottom of these windows are just black. It's like kind of lined pieces here, is so for privacy, so you can't see into the bathroom. Just light coming in at the top, but nothing down low. But yeah, so this is the hallway, and so I had these pieces, and these blue panel pieces are actually, I have another one, like the walls of a shipping container. It's like the intended use for it, and where it's often been used on a lot of Lego sets. But I thought it kind of like, in a row there, almost looked like a series of lockers. So I decided to turn that would be it. And since blue is also, again, one of those school colors, I thought having all of the lockers painted in blue would be appropriate. So that's a part of the lockers there, a little gray steel bottom, lockers, topper on there. So you'll see a couple of those sprinkled out throughout the other halls, and eventually they'll be added to that third floor too. Yeah, so we got the lockers, and you have a little water fountain in between there. I debated what kind of spigot here. I did a little angled one, thinking of one like when you it kind of comes out from one side. There's also a little like spigot shape too, but it almost was too big for it, which is why I did this one. But who knows? That might change. And it has like a little kind of vent design on the side there, so I was happy with those little tiny water coolers. So there's 2 of these. There might be more water fountains, but 2 to start. So there's the side of classes 3 and 4. Well, that's okay. You can totally love the sets. I love the sets. The sets are nothing wrong with that. And you know, if you spend 30 odd years doing it, then maybe you want to branch out in the future once you feel like you got some knack for it. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with just building the sets. And like I said, I do that too for some of the huge ones. Very cool. Okay, so another portion of the building. All right. Now we're getting to one area where we might actually do some building tonight. And that is the second floor of the lobby of the central area. So a couple of elements about this. We have the other half of that classroom here, the classroom 4 that's starting off. You have some more lockers kind of going down the hallway there. Starting to go down, you have the stairs come up from the ground floor right into here. You have the elevator shaft for the second floor right there. We have a railing overlooking the lobby, and then the start of the stairwell that goes up to a little kind of bridge underneath these windows, and then the stairs continue up here. And so I attached the stairs here, and then they rest atop the kind of the bridge that goes around the lobby on the way up. You'll see why, but this was, this one, also has this little kind of dent here where it rests onto all of the built up part of the entrance. And since the entrance was so high, I didn't want the second floor to start above it. So I had the second floor start lower, and then I just went higher just for this window portion so I could separate it apart and still lift it up and play around with it. And so right here on this wall, I was thinking potentially this could be a school trophy case. So that's something that we might build on stream tonight. Was maybe I'll start to think of some ideas, but we might be able to plop in a little trophy case right in that corner there. So might do that. And then you can see again, because this is the second floor, there's an up and a down button on the elevator this time, not just a down button like the third floor. Let's go for that random accuracy that will be inside the building that almost no one will ever see again. All about it. Alrighty. So we're down to the ground floor. This might take a little bit more finagling for me to pull out, but you can now see there where we are. So here is the ground floor, which is where I put the most pieces in. And I will take you through them, but we got classrooms 1 and 2. We got another hallway, which instead of ending in a bathroom, ends in an emergency exit. Out to the back, we have a little doorway there into what I think will be a library. We have the main entrance, which is has both stairs and a handicap accessible elevator to lift up and down there. It doesn't actually move. I couldn't figure that one out. It all got too bulky. Of course, we have our fallout shelter sign for these old ass schools to tell you that this is a safe place in an event of a nuclear bomb. It's not. Almost all those signs were not accurate, which is why they're being quietly pulled down across the city. We have that school sticker that came from the official set. There's the blue and gold that I was referencing, and why I am doing a little pattern in the floor there. I'm waiting on some triangle pieces to come. I'm going to change those gray ones for blue and then yellow triangles, and so we'll have a whole little blue and yellow medallion set into the floor of the ground floor there. This will be the biggest any gender bathroom. The elevator shaft with elevator inside it. We'll have a little admin office, which I've not built all the walls for. And then of course the cafeteria, which has, actually I already built the kitchen in there. I'm gonna put some vending machines, so we might build some vending machines tonight too. As well as potentially do some stuff, some outfitting for these 2 classrooms. So that's my plan for this evening. Yeah, so there is my school. Let's make it more interesting, huh? Let's start actually building. So, cheers. We can get going. How do I pull this apart? There are little pins in the base to try to hold it together, and they do come apart. The problem is sometimes not as easy to get back together again. So I'm trying to think if there's a smarter way for me to pull this apart. Nope. I can't part pretty easily. Okay. Cool. I'll go big on this. So, here is the ground floor. And so you can see I got the little thing. I have this is just sort of a false bottom, but sort of like hints at a basement. I guess where that fallout shelter is, right? And the boiler room, all that kind of good stuff. As if it could go downstairs. And so I like to imagine the elevator just goes down one more floor. Maybe there's a stairwell somewhere. We'll figure that one out. Again, we have a flush window for the end of the hall in case this hits against another Lego building. And on the back, we have the exit, which goes to the stairwell that goes down there into the schoolyard. We have the entrance into the library here. The library is attached to another half of the building that's still over there. So that's where that actual inside of this teeny tiny little library and a couple computers will be. But I did that way. Sorry. So I did that way because that's where it fit. It went easily over there and put it onto the other base plate. This right here is empty, and you can see the back of the lockers, and that's because I'm going to build bookcases into this wall. So that way it doesn't take room inside the library. It kind of will look like you go into the library and boom, flushes a built-in bookcase in the wall. So that will be a bookcase right there, which we can potentially build tonight too. You, of course, again have water fountain, little picture, more lockers, a fire hydrant, and a fire alarm, which I just realized I forgot to put on other floors, but I'll do that later. And then I was kind of proud of this, and like, of course, the 1 and 2 for the 2 classrooms. But on the actual exit sign, it's a good question if you'll be able to see this, but there is actually the word exit underneath the little white speaker kind of things and lights there. So there is a little exit, word exit on the exit sign. And then I just put some random stuff on the walls in the classrooms, some random art, but we can fill them in. I have clocks above the doors too. And I want to have clocks everywhere. I just ran out of clocks, so I need to order some more clocks to put over each of the classroom doors. We can add the dirt and the shopping cart person last. That's the kind of detail that the sprinkling of sauce at the end that makes it all cool. That's why I also added the Fallout sign. Same thinking. What can make this a little more real? Okay, so we're gonna set this aside over here because we might actually build in here this eve. I'll show you the entrance. Well, here, I'll briefly show you the start of the playground. Not a lot going on with the playground. I want to do some cool stuff. I'm thinking that there might be actually a basketball hoop here with a little half court. Because again, right here would be another Lego building. So it's like you'd be playing off the side of the building. So I didn't need to fence it in necessarily. We have a gate to the outside and a little beware minifigs at play. I don't know if you can see. Nope. Yep. You can see the slow minifigs at play signs there. Just in case any kids come running out, they'll be seeing it. There is the 2 stairwells that go back into the 2 emergency exits, and of course the view out from the school. So a lot to go on back here to finish this out. Plus you can see all these strips. I ran out of these dark gray plates for all of the sidewalks. So again, those have been ordered. They'll come to fill it in. I don't know if I'll make the elevator Technic. It's a good question. And that would be cool. The problem is because all of these floors separate, even manually, like I can lift that elevator up and down, but it sticks like crazy because the alignment when you put the floors down on top of each other is never perfect. So trying to make it smooth manually is hard. Trying to do it in a way that's automated that wouldn't like end up breaking the motor or breaking the chain is not super likely. I would have to really rebuild the shaft or make it all one piece that would like plug in the side or something that would be way more complicated than probably what I'm willing to do. So it's an awesome thing. I would love it to be functional. I think it's enough for me that it can move at least under person power. But it's a cool idea. I don't mean to knock your idea. I just like to, you asked a good question, you deserve an answer. No, you be curious, please. I'm eyeing that commentary because I'm like, oh, I'm like shooting this down. It's a wonderful idea. But that's why I haven't done it for this or other buildings. It's just when it's not built as a single thing, it's very difficult to do in a way that doesn't break every time out of the gate. Okay. the ground floor. The front door, the front entrance, all that jazz. So one of the more grander spots. There's a clock inside. I figure I'll have like some like little banner here for the school that I'll put on top of this. Bit of brick stick at the side. This is that little bridge that comes up some stairs, goes across, and then continues up on what's attached to the second floor. You can see again, there's been this little groove running up the entire height of the building. That is so I could lift up this elevator. The problem is when I actually try to do this with the second floor on, it never goes up past this point. It just hits the bottom of the next floor. And I can sometimes get it to work, but it's not easy and often just lifts the entire floor up when I try to do it. So it's a very awkward process. But there's the elevator, has little smooth tiles on the bottom, smooth inside, and it's actually recessed into the basement a little bit so that when the elevator shaft is in it, it lines up with the door. So it is a smooth passage into, let me add some stuff into this, smooth pass into the elevator shaft there. And again, you can hit down and keep on going down to the basement. I got some benches, got again the bathroom which has not been built yet. We have the other view of the front door there and the clock. Some more benches underneath the stairs, as well as the stairs themselves that go up to the second floor. And yeah, and then the entrance to the admin office, which is actually going to be into, it's going to exist in the other base plate, the part that's the cafeteria. But when it's all together, it will seem like it's, you know, this wall is going to attach to the other walls. And actually having this wall on this base plate makes it easier to put the floor down on top of it. There's something for it to rest on, so that helps. It makes it easier to build out the office because I can take off one whole wall without having to break the building apart. Because they actually built that way, that these things all just slide up next to each other and clip together. Yeah, so I was very happy with this. I was especially proud of how their stairwell came about. I didn't expect it to be as smooth or easy. Let me turn this around. As it ended up being. Like I said, this is, here we go. That it doesn't raise on its own. I tried to do something that lifted back here, but it just went at an angle, or it required so much building out that like it took up the whole space. So building up a tiny moving elevator lift here for wheelchair lift was beyond my ability, sadly. But it does kind of still, I think, look nice. You know, it will fit and rest smoothly, and you can imagine it going up and down on this little piston from the bottom. So that's how I built it to appear as though it's functional, even though sadly it is not. It's hard to reassemble this while it's vertical. I have these little handrails, which I was happy how those came together. They're only attached at the top, so this lifts up. It's just clipped and resting on the bottom there. Yeah, but I thought it still looked nice. It's obviously asymmetrical because of this, but I thought like it looked like a renovation was done, right? These stairs, these parts are drilled out, they put the elevator in, and now it all works, and these little doors can let people come on and off the elevator. Yeah, so there's the front entrance. And then the part that I probably have arguably built out the most is the cafeteria. Once again, I've run out of some pieces. You'll see sometimes like some tile that's bare because I ran out of gray tile, light gray tile. Here's the inside of the admin office. I started to build up like a little shelf with paper on it that would go up to the ceiling here, and then actually that tile would continue and it would seal this off. And this corner would then be a little bit more stable for the floor above it. But we have our good old exit sign. An emergency, you can go out to the playground there. We have some benches for kids to eat at and little tables for them to eat at. We have, of course, multiple kinds of trash, so you can do your composting and your trash and your recycling. We have the space where the vending machines will go, which is why I didn't fill in the floor yet, because I want to figure out where they'll clip into the ground, and then I'll fill in the floor around that. And then we have the actual kitchen. I haven't put the door on yet, but you can see into the kitchen there, and we'll figure out a couple different angles here so you can see the inside. So there we go. Kind of. There's a little surface here where you'd check out. I did put a register in there, and I debated that. Because I was like, should you have to pay for lunches as a kid? I don't know. We'll deal with that. We'll figure that one out. But for now, no register. But there's some hot dogs ready to go there. You can see, maybe you can see. I know it's tough because it's tight, but there's a little teeny tiny. Yeah, I'm gonna do the mobile cam for this. I can move it. There is a little teeny tiny stove back in there with a little range hood kind of thing there. There's milk and a bowl on the counter, a bowl under the counter, refrigerator with bottles on top of it, cabinets all across the top here. So I thought it came out pretty cool. It's not going in super well. Yeah, so tight, tiny little kitchen, but I thought it does the job for this tiny little school and little cafeteria. So, oh, there's the other half of the classroom with some more artwork hung on the walls. All right. There is all of the in-depth room by room, base plate by base plate review of the school. So let's talk about actually building out the school rooms, the classrooms, making these suckers come to life. I also mentioned the idea of doing a trophy shelf, which I might, I don't know, I'm trying to just mentally debate which one I want to start with. I might start with the trophy shelf. I think that actually might be a little bit more straightforward. That's gonna go on this floor, right there, second floor of the lobby. So I went and tried to find some pieces that looked like they were trophy adjacent. And some random pieces in here, some actual straight up Lego trophies, little gold cups, little people figurines, key, so some random things there. Maybe like a frame. Maybe some glass pieces. Some more. I have a bunch of random pieces in this. I'm just bringing all this over here in case any of them are useful. All right. I might also. Here we go. All right. So let's think about this. If I want a trophy case, I probably want a trophy on a shelf and some pieces around it. Elevating other trophies around it. I'm also, hopefully it won't be too loud. I'm gonna turn back the AC on. It got hot fast. It's like it's gonna be a reality of the summer, right? It's gonna have to keep it cool. Hey Mimi, if you want to build the rest of this campus, or you want to fund the pieces for the rest of the campus, I'm all for it. For now, this was the scale I figured I could reasonably pull off, and like I said, even just ordering additional red brick pieces for the rest of the outside of the school, the additional gray tile pieces for the sidewalks and the ceilings, it added up fast, very, very fast. All right, taking off my Meow Wolf bracelet and my Trans Gamer bracelet. Cool off. Freely build here. All right. So, as this is going up, is the sound okay? I guess I just want to check in. It's loud for me. I did turn down the gain on my mic, so hopefully it's not as loud for you. But let me know. All right. Let's figure out how we want to do this. There we go. Here we go. Now we're talking. All right. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Good to hear. Oh, and good to know that the sound covers up. That might be especially useful for the future. All right. Let's think about this. Yeah. Some brown tile going on. So the idea here is I'm trying to build, assemble a trophy shelf that I think will look halfway decent. Huh, that touched that more than I expected, so that doesn't quite fit there like I had hoped. Huh. Well, I can just stand it there, yeah. I'll put this little dude on this gold base. So I'm doing this. Let me do the zoom one. That might be a little bit more. Where's the mouse? Where's the mouse? I know that's too fuzzy, but maybe you can just see it a little bit better with this. Where's my hand? My hand's going to be here. Let me see if I can get that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. All right. So here is that little start of what might sit into a shelf. I don't like that. It's not flush. Let me get another piece. Of course I don't have any 2x2 brown. That would be too easy. Here, now it looks flush. Some well separated trophies on the wall. How will this assemble into a case? So I probably want, There you go, a little closer together, and then the window will go over top of them. Nice, that will work. That will work. Alright. Alright. Gotta start for something here. A start of something here. And I'm trying to figure out how big this sucker. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at the space it takes up on the floor there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so it's at least 8 wide, which is what this would be. So I don't need that piece that fell on the floor. I can just do it like that, and that will be 8 studs wide, so that will work well. I have different pieces all over the place. And giant bins of things, which are stupidly sorted by color. It'd be far better if they were sorted by part, because that's much easier to find things. But young me thought it looked cool all in one color, and so now I'm left with enormous bins of like this. They're just a giant mess, and good luck trying to find the piece you want when all the things are the same color. Not as easy, but it's what I have to live with. It's the reality I gave myself. So let me find some more pieces in this cavernous expanse, and you will get to hear all of the classic rustling. You know, that's what, this is the ASMR portion of the show, where you get to hear all of the rustling of all the pieces as I try to find the parts that I think will help me finish off this trophy case. And if you don't like this, just know that if you leave, I'll make you feel really guilty. So that's just know that. And internalize that. Wait, alright. Okay, Mivani, I just saw your comment about the music too loud, which I'm assuming is a joke from the comments, the context, but you still scare me right now. If no one's been able to hear me for the last half hour, I'll be very angry. At myself. Please affirm if you were joking or not. One thing I didn't think about during transition is how hard it is with my hair to hang in front of my face and look for pieces. When I look down, it's right in front of where I'm looking. And yes, I could tie it back, but I don't like how it looks. I would love to get one of those Lego separator shakers. I have looked, I've Google searched a ton, even in the last couple weeks for those. I cannot find any for sale, just plans to make your own, which is kind of beyond my scope. Yeah, I'm not really that handy, nor do I really have like the physical space here in Manhattan to do a crafts project, like construct a wooden separator. So I would love a separator. That is a phenomenal notion. And honestly, Peach Color Sky, if you come across one or you're aware of one, please share the link. You can share the link here. I think with my permission, but even if not, or maybe especially because it might be safer, in our Discord channel, which you can join, there is a builder's block section, a little sub discussion on the show, and you can post a link there. So if you're not already a member, you can hop on in. It's a fun place with lots of great conversations on lots of amazing topics, and you can join in there and share it should you come across a Lego separator, because I know exactly what you mean, a big shifting thing. That'd be wonderful. I cannot find them anywhere to buy, so I'd love that. I actually have built a brick-built separator. That was actually with the group I was a part of. They built it. I got to see it. It was amazing and huge, this giant orange piece. So I have seen it done. I have not done it myself. But again, it's one of those things whenever you build a giant scale thing of it, it's not going to be practical because it will break apart if you try to use it to break other things apart. But you also need a lot of whatever color you're doing, so it can suck up pieces fast when you do a big project like that. Alright, I'm going to focus a little bit more on finding these pieces so I can stop all the noise. I'm not finding as many of the pieces I thought I would find, which is why this is going so long. All too long. Okay, it's a good start. It's a good start. Alright. So the deal is, I want to make something that's roughly this size. I want it to all stick together and be attached to each other. And I was hoping to find more plates to pull that job off, but I'm not finding them, so we will maybe do a little bit of fakery to pull it off. Actually, I can probably jury rig it. I can jury rig it with other pieces. 10 spares in my apartment. That would be awesome. Oh, that'd be awesome. If you find that person on TikTok, thank you, Peach Color Sky. That is super, super awesome of you. Obviously, no pressure, but if you do come across it, that would be incredibly handy. So thank you. So we're gonna take some random pieces I found here and stick them underneath for stability. Let's zoom back in again. There we go, mouse. I know it's not as crisp, it's an artificial zoom, but at least gets you a little bit closer to the action here. Building that. Nope. Pop on that. We do have enormous apartments. It's kind of like Friends, except we don't have the giant windows. That's the one, I feel like the one thing that Friends got wrong about the New York living environment is the giant windows. Those are a little harder to come by, so not everyone has that. A lot of people have it, but not everyone. Nope. Nope. I'm looking for something to hold this key vertically, and there's a piece I have in mind. Questions whether or not I've used them all. I could do this, like that. Boom. Alright, I attach this little hook to the key, stick the key in the little slot there, and boom, floating key. Science. Alright, another random trophy there. And this little here. Little Oscar in the middle there. Very talented drama students. Is he tall enough? That'll be a close call. Alright, so this will be a good start at least. So what I'm going to do here, yeah, I think this will work. I think this will work. Alright. The lost dark zone that here is the Upper East Side. That's where I am in Vonnie. Let me find. Ha. Alright, I like that. That piece there. That piece there. Put trophies on there. Alright, it's shaping up. It's shaping up. Watch, it's gonna be like too tall or something. Alright, we'll figure that out. Oh. Maybe it doesn't have to be as tall. No, that would be too short. I'm just looking, I realize this is, that's probably fine. That's probably the right height. My Twitch just closed on me. Hopefully, I'm still streaming. I just noticed the browser window that I had Twitch on just apparently disappeared on me on my other little computer here. So if you've said in the chat, I have not seen it for a few minutes here. Let's see if I can open it back up again. Yeah, Chrome didn't shut down correctly. Just disappeared. Alright, let's see if that reloads. It's weird, once the chat disappeared, like I felt like all alone all of a sudden. You were gone. I had no one to talk to. Well, I mean, I had people to talk to, but It's like you're talking to yourself. You feel a little crazy. So hopefully it'll come back and I can see you all chatting still. Alright. In the meantime, I'll try to adjust the key positioning in the case. Hey! I am still streaming. Good, good, good. And Rich is here. Hey, hey. Awesome. Awesome. Always good to see you. Fine. It's seriously sold out and not taking orders. Oh. Thank you for looking up, though. I really appreciate that. And I hope he does okay with the family emergency. That sucks. But thank you. I appreciate that. Checking that out. Okay. So we are building a trophy case for the school. As you can see here, it got a little nice, I think, start. You can see a little key, a dude. In fact, they're kind of nicely framed by the windows. And then up here we have the big trophy level. And actually, you can't really see the dude in a little black minifigure here. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to just make it a taller cup. Yeah, taller trophy. That's what that'll be. Doesn't fit perfectly, but actually, I can make this taller. There's my box of gold. I'm going to add some gold to the bottom of the silver trophy to make it taller. So that it sits next to this other. Alright, it needs to be a little bit taller still. Some red fell in there. Some more red. You got red on you. Alright, where is cereal? I'm just looking for little teeny tiny gold pieces that I can add to the base of this trophy to make it a little bit taller. Because right now the handle is bumping into the taller trophy. I don't want to do that. And so making it taller should alleviate the pressure. My hair is going on in front of my face. Alright. So, fancy gold base. Little gold eraser thingies. Raising it up. Trophy on top. Trophy in case. Trophy no longer bumping against other trophy. Alright. This is a trophy husband. And that was a trophy non-binary person, but then I thought the contrast didn't look good, so I took it out and replaced it with a gold goblet. Filling in the walls here, making it taller. I'll need more tile. You are welcome. Alright. Oh my. Coming together now. Alright, let's hope it's not too tall for the floor. I'll add some tiles on top of this, but first I'm gonna do let's do a little size check. So arguably got a little carried away here with the double levels, and maybe it won't fit. But we'll find out here. So here's the second story of the school lobby. And there is the space where it's gonna go. And if we rest this in as it is, oh my. It barely clears it. In fact, I need to make sure the floor above it won't like hit it when I put it in there. Here it is. All right. Huh. It might be okay. All right. Let me. So that's the floor above it. What I make sure is that there's no plates on the bottom of this that are going to hit that it would stick to. Oh shoot, there's one. Yeah, there's one. Right, I might be able to move it. Alright, this chair is driving me nuts. So right underneath here is this little piece which helps hold the floor in place, but I'm going to see if I can put it in a different location. And that way, the trophy case would actually hold it in place now that I think about it. One, 2, 3, 4. It should be okay. What's this falling? Oh, stupid sign. Great. Okay. We're gonna try. We're gonna see if this will fit here and let the floor above it actually click into place. So, to stick it into the ground, I have these little bare spots there, so I need to attach some bare spots to the bottom of this. Some studs that will go into those spaces, those little voids, and make it all hold together. And I'm not being intentionally suggestive as I say these things, it's just happening. Alright. Let's do that. I don't have to do matching colors. In this case I am, just because I have a bunch of them. But I'm going to, if you can see it here, go put these little plates into those gaps I left into the floorboards. Stick them in there. Worst case, I can try to do something to make the bottom of the trophy case lower. I'm hoping I won't have to though, just because it'll be a pain. Redo that. Why isn't that not going in? Again. I know you can't see it, but honestly it's a little hard to hold up at an angle and push down. So. Alright. Boom. There's all the places where this will attach. And boom. And no kids can get around this trophy case. It is too wide. Or too deep. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I'm going to have to do some recalculus. This is the fun of building on the fly. Fun of building on the fly. One, this piece just broke in my hand. Some of the older brown pieces are very fragile. Whatever plastic they were used that was mixed into making the right color, they're very fragile, and it just split in half, so that's fine. But I'll show you how I was oh-knowing. Look at that gap. You have to really suck it in to make it around the corner and make it up to the floor before around this trophy case. So it's a little bulky, doesn't quite fit smoothly, so I feel like that it's kind of a fail. As cool as this trophy case is, I want it to fit. I want people to be able to move around it. It loses the reality of the school for me if it doesn't. So this is, like I said, when I build on the fly, I sometimes have to take things apart and start over. I don't think I have to start over entirely, but this is going to be one of them where let's maybe do a little bit of adjusting here to make this work a little bit better. So, if you'll pardon me, we'll go back down. And as cool as this was, we are going to make it cooler by also physically fitting into the building that we're building. Okay. So how do we do that? How do we make this fit nicely, not require someone to dance around it? Oh, son of a... Another piece just broke. And that was like a sharp one. Alright. Oh gosh, that's gonna break again. I know it is. I can't even get the piece out. Oh man. Yeah. Can hear it cracking. Nick's scared. It's gonna stab me on the way out. Alright. Well, we've both managed to make it not fit and physically damage ourselves. That's fun. Exactly, that would be a crazy fire hazard, and holy crap, a fire marshal bill reference. Midvani, that you're well done on that one. Well done. Mad TV Fire Marshal Bill. Jim Carrey with that terrifying stretched neck. I remember that well. That gave me nightmares. Good job. Good job. Alright, folks. So you got to see me build and immediately disassemble a trophy case. That was fun. Let's do a little bit better this time. And by let's, as though I'm saying us, I mean you. Do better. Alright, maybe part of this is like, obviously we have the glass front. The glass front is cool. I like the glass front. Maybe the glass front isn't necessary? Because it wouldn't be as thick if I don't have the glass front, right? That, just taking off that front of the case right away, boom. Oh, it's not as nice. I do want it to be nice. Ah. Alright, let me think about this. I have some right here. These smaller jumper plates, thinner jumper plates. And aside from the big trophy, these will fit in there. So maybe this is the direction to go. We do smaller trophies and such. Right? You with me? Smaller, narrower shelf of things. And we can still put the glass on. We can even still do the column-y thing on the side. Can we? Yeah. Probably need more pieces for the sides of it, but that's okay. How would the next floor up go? So we might have to ditch the big trophy? Yeah. Or maybe put, yeah. Shoot. Yeah, we might have to just ditch it. Maybe it'll be in another room or something. I think for now it has to go. For to have any hope of fitting this all together. Thank you, Midwani. I feel like that was your best. I feel like bringing out Fire Marshal Bill was like, that was peak Midvani right there. We got to see you in all your glory making that happen. Alright, if we're going to do this, if we're going to break this down and make it smaller, narrower, so I can't do this trophy, maybe I can do some more interesting custom trophies to fill in the gap, to make up for that loss. Yes. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to fill out the walls of this thing. Right there. there. Put this little bit on there. I had to get another one because the other one broke. Unfortunately, that piece breaking part has been a consistent problem. It's a reality of the colors I've chosen that the reddish brown and dark red are notoriously frail pieces, which unfortunately, especially the thin tiles, the thin plates rather, will often break, which is extremely frustrating and disturbing, but a sad reality of the situation. Alright, what we're doing here a little bit of firmness. I'm using these little angle pieces to connect the sides to the front. And then the glassing on this and the tile stain on this will hold this shelf together. What I'm thinking is, alright, we'll have medium trophy on that side. We'll do small trophy on that side, and then we are going to do an extra tall trophy in the middle, but instead of it being a single brick built trophy, I'm going to assemble it out of other Lego pieces. What I'm thinking is, I have this collection of things, and there's these little stanchions. I was thinking it might be cool to do another color. I don't know if I have another color of those. Like I said, like a red, like you sometimes see trophies that have like a colored, a color base, colored in red or colored in blue, whatever it is. I was kind of picturing that. I have blue and yellow, which are the school colors. Assemble it outside the case here. We're going to try this a couple different ways. I'm going to go pretty tall like this. Alright. Blue and yellow base. Gold columns. Gold jumper plate to center the next level. Gold chalice on top. Right? It's kind of a thing, right? Let's see if that will fit. Ooh. Well, it just fits. Let's see how it actually... keep knocking the key off. It's not the most stable attachment point. Okay. So, how does that look? I don't know. I don't super love it. The blue and yellow is not quite working for me. At least not like that. Okay, let's just try it without. Okay. Okay. That kind of looks legit, right? That looks like a trophy. It's kind of nicely framed in the glass. What do y'all think? All I have is Midvani promising to do better on a past conversation. Let me know what you think of that. For those of you still willing still willing to throw in your comments, they are appreciated, and if they're wrong, they'll be ignored. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate and love any thoughts that you all have. It's always awesome. All right, while you ponder if you like it. Oh, I got Russ. I got 3 Pikachus of approval. That's as solid as you can get. I think that's the peak of approval. So I'm taking it. I am running with it. it's now truth. This is the perfect trophy case. And thank you for coming by, Ruth. Awesome to have you. Alright. What's I'm going to do? I'm going to... I need more brown pieces. Alright. More ASMR. That's how ASMR is done, right? Someone just shouts more ASMR and then lots of loud raucous noise happens. Suddenly and abruptly. Seems like a scientific approach as any to me. All right. Okay. What other piece I thought would be? Oh, yeah. Da da. Da 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 da. All right. So here. One of the pieces I need. And I think I need one more. Yes, one more. I thought it could be graceful, or I could just, you know, bend down there and grab the piece I need. All right. Here is the new, the improved, the more svelte and therefore more likely to actually fit in the hallway trophy case. I'll put on plates on top of it. I added extra little filigree to the front of it. I have pieces galore outside of it. There it is. That feels pretty legit to me. I like that. Actually, you are right. I don't have any participation ribbons, but you know what? The kids get those. They take those home. We don't put that shit in our schools. We put the success stories in our schools. In this particular prestigious academy. Let's say it's academy. It's an elementary academy. I decided that just right now. There's no principal's office, it's the headmaster's office. I don't know what the difference is, but I feel like that's the thing that academy have versus a principal. Parkour. That's all it takes to do parkour, then yes, I'm a parkour master. Alright, mistress. The dulcet tones, they are dulcet. Alright, that's good to know, Nicole. I can prepare for that in my future second career. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Is it even taller? No, it's just as tall. It's just as tall. Wow. I feel like we made this so much shorter and somehow it's just as tall as the last case. But look at that. And look at those pieces falling out behind it. Trophy case. You can actually walk around it. Still a tightish fit, but not, you know, unduly tight. Not embarrassingly tight. So I think we can call that a success. Let's see if I'm gonna put the floor on top of it, and make sure it goes on. A much less finished third floor. And look at that, flush with the new technologies right on top. That is a mission accomplished, I say. That is a good job. All right, so we can add this back to the rest of the first floor. Yeah. Get this out of the way. Ta-da. First floor kind of sort of back intact. Now complete with its very own trophy case. Alright. That was cool. That was admittedly more involved than I expected it to be. But that's the lesson learned when you build on the fly. And Ashley will rightfully critique me for not being prepared on this front. And I have no excuse other than I spent a lot of my time building all the rest of the building. And it was a busy work day. Kind of counts. Okay. That sounds like screams. Of course I can add sounds. I think about how to do it though. I mean, I can set external sounds within the building though. That's another thing entirely. Okay. Stupid wind blowing here. Alright. What did I also want to try to build? We did the trophy case. School desks. Alright, so one thing I wanted to do is build out the individual classrooms. So I think I've mentioned this before. And so you can see there's different color base plates, which doesn't kind of matter. I mostly just wanted the light gray on the edges and then whatever color in the middle. So I use dark gray because I have a lot of that. We'll cover all this up with tile, the same dark brown tile that's used for the hallway. So eventually it will look nice and uniform across the floor. The question is what goes on top of the floor. What goes where the people go. I feel like that was the start of a Disney song. So I have 80 gajillion brown chairs. I have another bag of chairs that I probably will need to dip into, but I have at least a starter of some chairs. And so an open question is how many people will fit in here? What's the placement of it? What do I do for desks? When do I shake up a classroom and have it be oriented differently? Like I figure one of these will be in a circle, like they're having a debate. There'll be one room that has the little stands with like Bunsen burners, and that'll be like the science room, of an art room, which I have big long tables and people spread around them with artwork on it. But I think for this classroom, maybe for classroom number 1, we can just do a more basic chairs facing the chalkboard classroom. So what I'm going to do is try to lay out here the layout of the floor, plan it out, and then put it in because that'll be a little bit easier. So this is, let's see, 8 wide, 17 long. Sorry, 8 so far. It's another 6, so it's 14 wide. Yes, 14 wide, 17 deep, which is very random. But we can kind of simulate that. We can get a sense of what that space is like right here. So from here, whoop, to here in a square is the amount of square footage we are looking at for this classroom. Yeah, I think I help roughly approximate the space we're working in. So what I want to think about is, alright, I want a teacher's desk. I want the students' desks. And I think this is what we'll end on. We'll see how quickly I can pull this together. Alright, so if you walk into the classroom, the teacher's desk isn't right there. I think it's going to be like over here, far across the room. And I don't think I can fit, no, I can't put it against the wall. So the desk is maybe like here. And we'll put we'll put the chair inside the desk a little bit, like it's pulled in. He's not sitting, or she's not sitting, or they're not sitting. They'll just be over here. We'll put some stuff on the desk, but for now, that's just where the desk will go. So everything else is going to be students facing the chalkboard, which is here. Here. So, let's see this out. We can do cut an aisle down the middle. Here we can do 3 across. and still has space all the way around them, which would be good. I guess I can affix them. I was trying not to affix it. I was just trying to set them for, but I can easily take these back off, so that's no big deal. Alright, so 3 across. I need space for a desk, so... Huh, will that be it? 7 students per class? This is an academy. We're keeping it small. The reason why I'm putting these so far apart is because I want to put desks in between. And so I'm tentatively thinking, where did I put them? These might be the bases of the desks. And then I would have a different color top, this dark tan, as the desktop. So these little pieces here, these are these ornate little pieces that are actually in the front of the good old trophy case. And so they're kind of like more of like a cornice or a little embellishment on the front of the building, but I'm going to actually turn them into the base of a school desk. There's a nice little kind of desk, and you can almost have it facing either direction from the student. It'll feel almost like those old one-piece integrated desks, but I didn't know how to do that, at least not doing that en masse, but this is a smaller scale, easier to replicate version of it than I can do, which is why I am doing it. And here we go. So I feel like this is kind of working, especially because at the back here, this last row will have the shelving coming in. So yeah, I think this will work. So small class sizes here, but you know, we don't take our learning for granted. We make the most of it here at whatever the heck academy. That chili clogs. You can, but you know what? This is a wealthy school. Those teachers pay, those students' parents pay a ludicrous amount for their children to come here and learn 12 languages by the age of 5, and so they can afford to have a small class size. Okay, so I think this will be the interior of this classroom. Right, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'll do some stuff on the shelf here in the back of it, but I still feel like you get the idea. It'll be a decent space. So we will try this out. We'll try this out. I'm also going to turn the fan off again because it swung from too hot to too cold. Turn off the AC. And right. The other challenge with this is by doing this, I need to figure out how to lay it out so I can fit this dark brown tile in there and then do still leave attachment points for these things to all sit firmly and smoothly inside the classroom. So it's not always the easiest to do that. All right, I'll start from the far side towards me. I have the bags of tiles underneath the desk. Yep. And away we go. It's 17. I'm gonna run out. At the back it will be an odd number, so I will just do. Like I try to do all these in one direction to kind of get this nice little wood tiled effect. Like you can kind of see in the hallway there where they're offset from each other. So I felt like it looked a little bit more like a real wood floor. And the pattern I used for that, but eventually we'll kind of run out. And that's in the back here, which you can't quite see, but in the back corner there you can see even number 16, it runs out at 17, so I will just take a little 1x2 piece and put it sideways in there. So now from the front, it's not quite as easy because there's some more odd numbers in here. I'll start from the back. 2. I'm sorry, I know this angle isn't perfect from where you are. But again, it's tough to do this in the air. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that then this chair overlaps the back half of it, sits on top of that. It's only the front and attached to the floor. Because these dark brown tiles only come in even numbers, so I sometimes have to do a little compromise like that to make it work around everything. Alright, what will I do for that? I have loads of this sand green tile, so that's what I'm going to use as the attachment points on the ground. Right, sorry, one reason I'm humming is I'm trying to ponder the best combo. So if I attach this at the front, then there's a gap, and then I attach this. You have to space the tiles apart, or the plates apart. If I turn this around, then I can attach them both to one piece, one 4x4 or 2x2 space. Does it look weird if the desk is facing this way? I remember like in school desks, you'd sit down when they were firmly attached to each other, and like it did kind of hang out over the front. Oh, up here? Sorry, you asked about this corner? Sorry, Defixie, I just saw your comment. If you mean this in the top, this top left corner, yes, that is a light. So it doesn't, there's red lights, and a little like kind of white speaker, and a little exit sign. So that's what's going on up there. Alright, I'm gonna maybe spin these around, just because I think that will work a little bit better in terms of the actual kitting out of the room. So I'm going to do that. So now, so you can see what I'm saying, I attach the seat to that portion. Boom, fits together nicely. And then I can attach this to this portion, and that will fit together nicely. And then I can stretch another 4 to the next seat and chair combo. Goodness. There. Attached. I can continue that on forward. How y'all doing as we near the end? I will try to get through a bunch of this classroom really fast. That way you can actually see a room furnished as well as our trophy case experiment. And that will maybe be the show, because we're coming up on 2 hours, which goes by so fast. And it's just a reminder of how much I can accomplish on my own when I'm not worried about what I'm saying or who's watching me, but also I can like roam all over the place searching for pieces. Not as smooth and easy, and I want to make sure you guys have a semi-decent experience when you are stuck here watching me. So it makes the creative process go a little bit slower, but that's a good thing so that you can hopefully get some appreciation of it. Or not, but you're here anyway, so thank you. Great. Let's see how cool I can So I'm gonna go quiet. I mean, I've been a little bit quiet, but I'm gonna go quiet for a second while I shoot this. You can be as distracted as you want to be. That is wonderful and okay. Again, it's just great that you're here too. Another piece shattered, but you know what? I just pushed it back with my finger. We're gonna leave it in there because it's too much of a pain to take out. Son of a... There's another piece that broke. Oh, I can't ignore that one. That one's in the way. Oh, what the heck? Why are these pieces so frail? This is very annoying. It definitely slows things down if I have to make sure pieces don't break whenever I push them in. That is not a cool discovery. At least the big ones don't seem to break. Come on. Another piece just broke. What the heck? Alright, this is getting worrisome. What is going on? That is the most pieces that have ever broken on me, by far, especially in such a short period of time. That's a little creepy. And partly it's my own fault trying to like follow this pattern. Of alternating the connection points. So that looks like a, I don't know what the word is for this kind of wood floor, where you know like the planks are offset from each other. That's the style I want to go for. The effect, I guess. If the pieces didn't break on me, Alright, this is already a decent chunk of the floor, so we're getting closer here for our finale. Oh, come on. I mean, I'm definitely frustrated that the pieces are breaking because that's not cool, but I'm also as frustrated that it just slows me down. I want to put this together for you all. I want you to see the floor. Who you are. I gotta do this last one. Oh no, okay. I may need to think more about the school desk, but I've gotten some good progress here that I can put in these little bits to hold the chairs and desks in place. I don't know if you can hear the music. I'm hearing it. I'm jamming out. All right. I don't know if that will work. Desk is going to be here. Oh yeah. Alright, it's coming together now. Okay. Teacher's chair. Teacher's desk. Chair. Desk. I have to reverse the door because I don't think it'll open anymore with this chair in front of it, but figure it out. Chair, desk. Chair. Desk. Here. Yes. All right. Gentlemen, ladies, and ladies, here is the classroom. Ta-da! Obviously not finished. Need to do stuff on the teacher's desk. Need to do stuff in the back. But I think we have a decent little recreation of a classroom. Layout's not perfect, but I think it's pretty darn nifty, especially given the odd number. And yeah, like maybe like the more space against the entrance versus the floor firewall, but then the teacher's desk kind of screwed it up. I don't know. I think it's still pretty cool. And like I said, the other classrooms we can change it up, so it doesn't have to always be like that. But I think it's a pretty decent start to the whole adventure here. So, folks, thank you so much. Thank you for bearing with that. I know it's a little bit, it's kind of closer to the earlier streams where I was a little bit more chaotic versus the recent streams when I've been pre-planning. This was kind of a combo of things. But it keeps it interesting, hopefully, for you all. It keeps it interesting for me, certainly. I'm so thankful, as always, that you are here. I'm not as thankful for what the fan did from the AC to my hair. That's another problem I need to just deal with. But no, this has been great. Thank you for coming by, as always. Thank you, Midvani, as you said. I hope you'll come back. I hope you'll see it again. I know Builder's Block is on a longer time frame, or every 2 weeks now. So we'll see how that continues. I'll probably at least be through the summer as we all go off and do other things, fun things in our lives. But I hope you'll consider swinging back by every now and then, and we'll get to spend some time together. It will be Emily next building, and then me after her. But don't forget, in the meantime, there are so many other great things happening on the Transverse Network, other shows for you to see and get to experience. And so I hope you'll consider stopping by. But until then, this has been Builder's Block. I've been Jess. You've been awesome. You get out there, you keep building, creating, and making the world a better place. And hopefully we can all have fun along the way together. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Bye, everyone. Oh, I know that coming up screen is wildly inaccurate. I'm way behind on updating it, but I've honestly just lost track of what's even coming up next, though I know they've done a great job of making a regular weekly calendar, so hopefully I'll find a smoother way to update that, so pardon the inaccuracies. I'll be right back. Because I will in a month.